A strong low-pressure region is about to dominate the United States, bringing the returning risk for a few tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail excess of 3 inches or more. Also, on the east coast of the United States, we have a major heat wave that has made its way all the way from the central to the eastern United States, bringing 115 degrees, and let's dive right into it. Not only do we have an extreme heat wave, we have an enhanced risk of severe weather on the East Coast. And before I jump into the forecast, I want to say I am back from New Jersey now, so the uploads are going to start being more consistent every day or every other day at most. Jumping right into it, we have a potent shortwave trough lifting out of the central Rockies and tracking straight towards the northern plains. It is crashing directly into the west of our massive summer heat dome. This collision is creating an extremely volatile and highly sheared environment. The Storm Prediction Center has officially issued an enhanced risk, which is a level 3 out of 5 for severe weather in the East Coast today. This includes Virginia, Delaware, Maryland, and New Jersey, where we could see a risk for tornadoes, hail, and damaging winds. It is good to note that this risk is heavily driven by mainly the wind factor. That is the only thing that's going to be the big factor why we have this enhanced risk over on the East Coast. Our tornado percent is sitting at a 2% over Kansas and Oklahoma today. That tells you a lot. There is no percent chance that we'll see a tornado on the East Coast as far as for the SPC has issued. Now, this doesn't mean tornadoes are completely ruled out. That means that they are a very low chance of occurring. As the wind shear is not that high in the area, we have a lot of storm potential. We have a lot of storms stability, but the wind shear makes it that the thunderstorms are not going to be able to spin enough to produce a tornado. Now, obviously, this is good news if you're anywhere on the East Coast, but we do have a sneaky 2% tornado risk for Kansas today. And this 2% includes the tiniest amount of Oklahoma I think I've ever seen, mainly over central Kansas to southern Kansas, where we could see a spin-up tornado or two throughout the day today. Again, this risk is very tiny. This is only a 2% risk over Kansas, but I want to remind you to stay weather aware. These severe storms can produce tornadoes very quickly without any warning. That is exactly what we could see here today. So if you're in Kansas, if you're in southern Kansas, if you're in central Kansas, make sure you have a way to receive alerts. Whether that's through your phone, whether that's through your TV, a NOAA weather radio, they're all really good sources. Just make sure you have a way to receive reliable alerts just in case a tornado warning is issued. Now, it is another big thing to note that the risk over Kansas and Oklahoma has a SIG 1, which is a conditional 1 risk for the wind, and even it has a SIG 1 for the hail as well. We don't see a hail risk anywhere on the East Coast. We do see a heavy wind risk, which is a 45% or more. For damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour or greater. But we do not have that conditional SIG 1 risk, which means that this is going to be a very limited setup. We're talking a few storms that could definitely produce 60 mile an hour winds or a little bit more, but not those really damaging 80 mile per hour plus winds that you see with these most destructive severe storms. Now, obviously, the storms have not happened yet, so there is a chance that this could be wrong and we could see a crazy severe weather with a crazy wind setup. But as of right now, it's not looking that likely. It's looking like the wind risk is going to be heavily limited based on the wind shear that we're seeing in the atmosphere. And also another thing is that the risk that you always see on the East Coast, it is a very hard area to predict. The East Coast is probably the hardest in the whole United States, if not most of the world, to predict what happens with the weather, as we saw a moderate risk a few months back and we didn't even see a tornado warning for the East Coast that day. Now, obviously, since this is very hard to predict, it's very hard to predict if this is going to be a bad day or a good day if you live on the East Coast. But as I always like to say, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. That is the only thing you can do with these severe weather setups. But make sure you have a way to receive alerts. Make sure you have a shelter ready just in case a tornado warning or a severe warning with heavily winds, I'm talking 80 miles per hour or plus, is issued for your area. Make sure that you have a shelter. You need to treat these warnings that are 80 mile per hour or more like a tornado warning, because this could literally be winds stronger than if there was a tornado in that storm. 80 miles per hour is, I believe, F0 to F1 tornado. But also another thing to note is that as we go into the overnight hours, the setup's still going to remain here for a little bit of time. So if you're planning to do fireworks for 4th of July, if you're planning to celebrate by going outdoors, if you live on the East Coast, if you live anywhere even in the 5% risk that you see on your screen right now, it's good to make sure you have a way to receive alerts and to be very cautious if you're going outside. If you live in Kansas, if you live in Oklahoma, which northern Oklahoma, I would strongly discourage discourage going outside at night, as we could see we have a sig 1 risk obviously, but we could see that damaging wind, that damaging hail, and even a sneaky tornado pop up, and that could ruin your whole night, especially if you're outside. So again, if you're going out to do fireworks, if you're going out to celebrate at nighttime, just make sure you have a way to receive alerts and be very careful. Monitor the outlook, monitor the weather, have a way to receive alerts. Obviously that's the most important thing you can do. But yeah, that's the risk that we're currently looking at. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. It is one of the shorter videos, but I just did have to get this video out. Obviously I haven't uploaded in a few days, I've been gone, so I tried to put together what I could in a very short amount of time. I tried my hardest on the video, so I hope you liked it. I hope you found this informational. I hope it helps you. Make sure to subscribe to Liam Severe. Make sure to like the video. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Happy 4th of July.